welcome to the Culturalist podcast, Conversations with Pam Ross. I just had the most amazing conversations with three of my team members. Excuse my lighting is blurry, so just ignore that because the content is worth it. We are talking about counterintuitive dating and how following churchy rules can either kill your love life or put you in a very miserable marriage. And so, three of my team members wanted to get my take on a few amazing questions. Our producer, Dr. Latoya, did not disappoint, brought us some phenomenal questions, and we went through them. And if you are a Patreon supporter, the bonus material is extremely good. And they've got some bonus downloadables that are coming. They go with this podcast for our Patreon users as well. So if you're interested, if you're dating, if you're single, ready to mingle, this is a podcast for you. Enjoy. I'm Pam Ross, the Culturalist. I love good conversations with interesting people. In this podcast, we use the art of conversation to explore what's happening in culture. Thanks for joining us. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have this conversation with you. We had our team retreat here in beautiful sunny Florida. And fortunately for me, Andrea's flight got flat out canceled. You know how they do, delay, cancel. And we ended up being able to spend some one-on-one time just strolling around, enjoying the beauty of the area. And she had this idea. Remember that ebook that you wrote, Counterintuitive Dating? How about if we had a conversation around that topic? And it's always a hot topic. I don't care who you are. Everybody's looking, right? Everybody's looking. And so she said, let's have this conversation. Me, you, Jasmine, Latoya, and we can ask you some questions and we'll just kind of see where it goes. I think it would make for very interesting listening, and I believe it will as well. So welcome, Jasmine. I'm so glad that you're here. Yay! Jasmine Bell is our director of media marketing, all the visuals, anything that you look at, if it's official, Jasmine has created or approved it. Welcome, Andrea. I'm so glad you're here. Yay! All the way from Chile, Massachusetts. Jasmine, you where the chili peppers are. You ain't cold. I see you got your little shoulders out. You're not cold. You're Texas.
Yeah, it's 70 degrees here.
It's 70 degrees. Yeah, so you have weather kind of like me. Yeah. And Andrea, it's cold where you are. Massachusetts, it's chilly. But you keep it warm because you look real cute.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, and I'm happy that you get to see your brainchild come to pass. Yes. And it just took us a couple of weeks to put it together. And of course, Madam Producer, who makes it all happen for us, Dr. Latoya. Thank you so much, ma'am. Are you home? You're in the Midwest again?
I am. I'm back.
Yeah, I know you would. How was your Southern venture going for Christmas?
It was so awesome, and I ate so much, but it was lovely. It was lovely. I planned for it.
Did you? Oh, so how do you plan for? I know I'm getting ready to go south and eat. You exercise a lot and eat healthy.
I just eat really healthy like the weeks leading up to it.
Yeah.
It's like so when I'm there, I'm like, yeah, my mom bakes and just all the treats.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I do the same thing, but I did not prepare for it. And so I'm making it up on the back end.
That's all right. That's all right.
So Latoya, you're going to guide us through this conversation. Just serve it up on the table and we're going to eat it up and we're going to see where the conversation takes us. I know. Yes. So
I'm so excited.
I know. I love the fact that people still want love.
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Because you could just swear it off and be like, I'm over it. Yes, Jasmine, you pointed to yourself.
For a while. I did.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love the fact that people still want love and they're still interested in Like, how do I move forward in this and be safe and sanctified? Mm.
Yeah, that's the key.
That
That's
part.
the
Yeah.
key.
That's the part right there.
Yes.
For
Uh-huh.
sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, for being with us on tonight. I'm so excited about this conversation and really excited to hear about your experiences and all the wisdom that you guys have so that we can, help us out here. There's some just these dating streets are not what they used to be. And we have to use wisdom in all things. And I want you guys to stay tuned because we have some exciting offers for you. So just please listen in. And we promise that this will be an engaging conversation, one that will help you in your love life. So we're going to start. We're just going to ask some questions, a little roundtable. You guys just pitch in, and we're going to have just let the conversation flow. So my
Okay.
first question to you guys, and yeah, I'm really excited to hear your answers to this. But
Uh-oh.
what are some dating rules that you were
Yeah.
taught in church that didn't fully prepare you for real life relationships? Like we
Oh,
know
wow.
cliche things that we're told in church as singles, like what are some of those things that didn't fully prepare you for real life relationships?
I tell you what, I'm going to bow out of this one because I didn't get saved till after I was married. So growing, well, I can't, no, I won't really bow out completely because then after that marriage did not make it, Damas Omus, right? We say a prayer for that one. That one did not make it. And he is hopefully with the Lord. Amen. So when it came to dating as a Christian, as a grown adult, and I was grown, three kids in college grown. I think the number one advice that I got was don't look. Just if you want to be married, act like you don't. Like it was very weird to me as a logical person. It was just don't look because it'll happen when you're not looking. So just don't look. So you're driving out in the dating streets like Mr. Magoo. Y'all know Mr. Magoo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you're just driving and you're hoping your eyes are closed
Yep.
and you're hoping that you just crash into somebody. So that was the weirdest advice I got. Don't look for somebody. Yeah, don't look for somebody.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. They
Have
always
you?
like it'll happen when you least expect it. Like don't
Ways
be
to
Yeah.
find you busy and working. You don't need to
Yes.
look. He finds you busy and working.
Yeah, he finds you
And then the
busy.
church
He's
keep
gonna.
you so busy you don't never have time to go on a date. But that's a whole other conversation.
No, that's this conversation.
get
That is
into it,
this
Jasmine. Come
conversation.
on.
It's very true. It's very true. The whole don't look,
Listen,
stay busy. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of, and yes, dating for marriage, but like everybody you meet is not marriage material, and you kind of have to go on a date before you figure that out.
Right.
Sometimes you can see
Yes.
it, miles away, but sometimes you just need to get to know the person. I also think they kind of encourage us not to become friends first. This you
Oh
dating to
wow.
marry the person.
Oh wow.
Just
Yeah, I
that,
have
yeah,
heard that. I have
yeah.
heard that. I have some things to say about the friends thing though. And I'll tell you what, because if I'm interested in someone and you friend zone them, it could make it very awkward to try to get out of the friend zone.
I don't let another
So
friend zone.
yeah,
I
you
don't
just
know people who get
if
out of the friend zone much.
If you tell me, let's just be friends,
then I'm
I'm
gonna take you
moving
at your word,
on.
man.
I'm taking you at your word for that.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
if you actually wanted me, you would not take the risk of just being my friend.
No, no. So
I'm
that's
single
like,
because I want to be, not because there's a
yes,
lack of people that are interested.
right. So that whole thing of not being, I get the idea of it's like one extreme and the other. One extreme says we don't date just to be dating. We don't date just to be dating. And then the other one is so they take you don't meet people, you don't become friends with anybody. And then the other extreme is we date people. No, you just become friends. So one is you're never friends, you're always candidate. And then the other one is you never become friends. And I think the middle ground is you date people you're interested in getting to know.
I
Because you
agree.
just
Yeah.
call it what it is. Just
I
call it
agree.
what it is. I think if someone approached you and said, hey, I'd really like to get to know you. I think that's an honest approach rather than rather than show up and say, God told me.
Ooh, please don't.
That one. That one.
Listen, don't you do it.
Please don't.
That's
That's
the
a
Don't you
turn
do
eject
off.
it.
button. That's the
That's a
eject button.
turn off. Do
Yeah,
not do
rather
it.
than show up and
Yeah.
say, God told me, tell that to your pastor. Don't tell that to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, so rather than show up and say, God told me, or just try to play it off like I'm not really looking at you, just say, hey, I think you're really interesting. I'd like to get to know you.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen,
Mhm.
I think the church rule that stuck out to me the most was the rule they put on me before I even got to dating age. Because y'all knew I grew up in holiness.
You
So
did.
you could not be seen talking to a man without being labeled fast or a hussy. So they drilled it. You cannot the girls that you could see visibly talking to boys, those are the girls that are going to end up pregnant and nobody's going to want them. So you cannot be seen talking to men, having friendships with men because you're fast and a godly man is not going to want you. And so I had to learn how to even have conversations with men,
Yeah.
normal conversations, without feeling like I'm
Am I
dirty
out of order?
for,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like, and
Wow.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth, like being 22, 23, and like, well, I'm not 22, 23 no more, but
Yeah.
in college, listen, so 40,000 people on this
Jasmine was going to the altar to repent
campus.
because somebody talked to her in class.
Yes.
Literally, like I had professors trying to, but that's beside the
And
point.
don't enjoy the conversation. Then you fast. No
You need to
T,
get the
just
devil
three
cast out
S's. You fast.
fast. And it was just like I
Uh-huh.
had to learn how to even talk to the opposite gender, one without feeling dirty, and two without, like Andrew said, thinking every single person is supposed to be your husband. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that,
I knew you were gonna have a big one, Jazz.
yeah.
Because I was like, I can't wait to hear her answer. So yours was don't even talk to him.
Mhm. Don't talk to him at all. That
Mhm.
is, I've heard that as
Oh,
well. Or
oh, my other favorite one. Ladies, as it pertains to the way you should be dressing, all imagination, no revelation is what. No revelation,
He don't
all
need to know you got a
imagination.
waist.
He don't need to know what you shape like. Let him imagine it, and then after he marry you, he can see what you do.
oh my goodness.
And so you shouldn't be you shouldn't be coming to worship the Lord with makeup on. That ain't war paint. I just wanted to
Wow.
I just wanted to look nice for mind you. This was after I was an adult. We couldn't even wear makeup at the church I grew up in. Well,
Yeah.
once I became an adult, started choosing a church for myself. Now it's yeah, you don't need all of that coming to church. I just wanted to look pretty for Jesus. It's Easter. Oh my God. He got up
That is so
with all
funny.
power, and I just
With all
wanted to
power.
celebrate.
Yeah, I thought I would look nice. Yeah.
Wow.
There's been a whole variety of bad advice.
Mhm.
Whole
I agree.
variety. My
Hmm.
new favorite, well, not new favorite because it's old favorite, but I guess it has resurfaced. Don't let him be a man of God. Don't let him be a pastor because automatically
Oh.
you should want to talk to him, Andrea.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Andrea, I could even imagine because as a minister, you're a whole all y'all are anointed, but particularly as a minister and as a widow, I'm sure that you've had several recommendations.
Oh yes,
Pastors, they can try to make you somebody's first lady.
yeah.
Listen.
Yeah,
We're
it's
not
really
doing.
interesting when they try to say, "Oh, he loves God." Well, I'm so happy for him, but he's
I'm
not for
happy
me.
for him.
Thank
Yes, yes,
Listen,
yes,
he's so sweet, you know. But no,
yes. Mm-mm,
no,
but
thank you.
mm-mm.
thank you.
No,
Oh,
I'm
this is
thank
telling
profit.
you.
Profit? Absolutely not.
Oh, no, that's awful. That's
Absolutely not.
discrimination.
That
That
is
is
just
discrimination.
And I'm perfectly okay with that. I am perfectly okay. I'm the same way with PKs and musicians. Absolutely not. Jasmine, you're a worship leader. It's so cute if he's a musician. Have you met musicians? Absolutely
Oh,
not.
that's so awful.
don't
I
Absolutely
know
talk
not.
some
about
that are nice.
no, you're not. No, you're
I know
not.
some that are nice.
Andrea,
Matt was a
you know,
musician.
you know I love my brother-in-law. May he
Yes,
rest. But he was
yes.
probably the only good one. And that includes both of my daddies.
You know what? I'm
No,
tired
he's
of
he
this.
he was a bass player for I want to say 20-ish years, maybe more.
Bass
Yes.
players
wow.
are not as bad as organists and drummers.
I have
Well,
no qualms about that.
that's so interesting. That is, ma'am, that is hilarious. But
That is.
you've had a level of exposure that I have not had.
True.
So I'm going to lean a little bit to your expertise, but at the same time, I'm going to say that's discrimination.
And some
I'm
discrimination is
fine with
fine.
that.
Perfectly okay with that discrimination.
Oh, I understand. Oh my goodness. So these are all some really good ones, and I'm sure like a lot of us have heard of these. I know for me it was similar to what Jazz said, because I grew up in the Baptist church. So
Uh-huh.
it was more so of, you don't approach men. They should approach you. And so it
Yeah.
took me a while to get to the place where I was actually initiating conversation or
Yeah.
at least showing that I am interested and open because I think
Yeah.
sometimes we shut down so much that they guys don't even know, like, hey,
Right.
might be interested or she's single. And so I really had to work at making eye contact and not doing too much, but
Mm-hmm.
just making myself known that, hey, I am interested and open.
Yeah. That is super important because sometimes you can come off as being cold because you're so guarded.
Yeah.
We show up trying to protect our reputation and against something that doesn't even make sense.
And
And
I
it's
think
the undue pressure put on women that maybe is not put on the sons of God, you
At
know?
all.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
it makes it really hard to get to know people, to go out, to spend time with folks because you're like, I'm not gonna say anything. In
Yeah.
the book Counterintuitive Dating, what I said was some of these religious rules will they make you feel like you are a prisoner of hope, waiting for somebody to choose you. And
Hmm.
I said I didn't like it in gym class, and I don't like it now.
Yeah.
I'm not standing on the wall waiting on somebody to say like
Yeah.
you don't have a choice in the matter.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree because
Yeah.
they use a scripture, a man who findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Yes.
So he
But
has
can
to
we talk
find
about
him.
that?
Yeah.
Sometimes we preach more about what that scripture does not say than
Hmm.
about what it says.
Right.
And so rather than focusing on being a good thing, we're
Mhm.
focusing on walking around blind.
Mhm.
When that
Ooh,
doesn't say she doesn't find someone. It does not
true.
say that. We just assume that that's what it means. We take a scripture that's written to the sons of God and we use it to whoop the daughters.
Mm.
That's ridiculous.
I think I sometimes think that I would have missed out on my late husband and I. We met on
Yes.
MySpace of all things, and so
Yes.
we're messaging on MySpace. Then we moved to text messages, and I'm like, I can feel like okay, it's time for us to meet in person. But he was
Yes.
very reserved, very shy, and I sometimes think we might never have met if I wasn't like so.
So
When I'm
what's up?
going to. But the way I was
Yes.
raised almost stopped me from doing it. We
Really?
ended up being married for just shy of 14 years when he passed. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm glad that I said, hey, so when do you want
So
to meet me?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Not at
Yeah.
all. It's okay to
Yeah.
take a chance and take the risk. So I love that. So we've been talking like just giving our just things that church has told us that we may have worked through. It sounds like all of us have worked through a lot of these things to unlearn and to learn healthy ways to connect, right? So like just what was that process like for you in trying to identify those things that you believe that were incorrect and then coming to a place of being healed to the point where you feel like, okay, yes, I'm ready for dating. Like, how did you
Yeah.
identify, and then what was that process like for you to get to a place of, hey, I'm ready to date and to date in a
Yeah.
healthy way because
Yeah, in
that's
a healthy way.
super important.
I think for me, I kept being bombarded by prophetic words
Mm.
about marriage. And I was really getting irritated by it. And so I decided, if I'm going to get married again, I may want to figure out what kind of guy I like. And so that was the precipice. That was the push of me saying I should have a coffee with someone. I should maybe go golfing with someone. I should get an idea of what type of guy I'm compatible with. And so I think it was just the prophetic words are what pushed me to say, you probably need to spend some time with some folks. And I
Yeah.
and I had to get healed. I don't the pain that I experienced never pushed me into the whole all men are dogs thing. So I never
Mhm.
got into that. But I did get into the uh you know all the women independent, right? I was like, listen, got this house, 3 kids, taking care of my mama. I gotta work, I got a job and a business and like, bro,
Yeah.
man, get in line. Like that was the thing. And I felt like the Lord had said to me, you need something else to talk about besides work and your kids.
Mm.
And so I started to do other things, which I hoped would help me be a more interesting person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes. I
And
love
then
it.
from there, yeah. And so it kind of went from there. So that's where the healing came from. It's
Yeah.
okay to get to know people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That self-discovery. Andrea,
Mhm.
Mhm.
what about you?
Well, okay. So when at the time that I met my husband, I'd actually been engaged prior to that. So
Yes.
I was engaged when I graduated from college. It did not work out.
Mhm.
It ended like the month after I graduated from college. The engagement
Oh, wow.
ended. I had a wedding dress. My bridesmaids had their dresses. It was very embarrassing. It had been announced to church, his church, everything.
How
But
close was
in
it
the
to the
end,
wedding when it ended?
that was June, July. I think we had said like September or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But let me
Either,
commend you because there's so many people that went through with it to avoid embarrassment,
yeah,
Wow.
which is, I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
I
I mean,
understand it.
that
No
wasn't
shade
even a
on them for that.
choice.
But the
I,
fact that,
yeah.
oh, yeah, the homeboy ended it, but it was a
He
blessing
woke up one
too.
morning. He says that he didn't know why, but he couldn't do it. And I believe the Lord interrupted what needed to be interrupted because
Yeah.
it wasn't even 6 months later when I met Matt, who I ended up
Wow.
marrying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't, and the thing about meeting Matt was, and so you talk about healing. I, gotten my heart broken coming out of college. I'm just starting to be an adult. I still live at my parents' house, so I'm like semi-adult,
Yeah. Adult-ish.
semi-adult,
Yeah.
adult-ish.
Yeah.
Um, definitely didn't need to be get married yet, but
No.
at that time. But I graduate, get my heart broken. I am very angry during this time. And now, mind you, this was the days when Facebook was still like you had to go to a college and that's how you got your account. And so, you had to wait for your school to be added to Facebook. And then they were just starting to let like other people join at that point. So this is 2008, 2008.
Yeah.
So I actually come off of social media completely. I'm off of Facebook. I'm off of MySpace. I'm off of Black Planet. Anybody remember Black Planet?
I
I'm
do.
off of everything because my heart is so angry. But I have
Yes.
been, even back then, I had been taught that when you didn't know what to say in a season, you say nothing. And so the
That's
easiest way
right.
not to post
That's good
something I
wisdom.
shouldn't The easiest way to not post something I shouldn't is just to not be online. And so I came offline. Also didn't help. I also didn't want to be online because his friends were dating my friends. So if I couldn't hang out with him, I wasn't hanging out with them either.
Yeah.
All of that to say, I went through this season of anger, but I went through it offline. I didn't have to endure. I'm sure there were comments and things, but it wasn't like it wasn't the same as I feel like women are, especially younger women experience now, where everything is so public and there's so
Yeah.
many opinions online and stuff. And so, um, I kind of flew under the radar. By the time some of my friends saw me again, I was already engaged to Matthew. Like a year
Wow.
after. But like when I
Yes.
tell you, like I dug into, finding my interests. I was back at home full time at my parents' house, submitting like a daughter, like I should. I'm
Yeah.
learning to be a daughter again. And then I met Matt, and that I think that journey just continued. As far as being ready, I knew I was ready because Matt messaged me in August. I did not respond till the day after Christmas,
Oh, wow.
and he responded
Mm.
to me. He messaged me
Oh,
on MySpace in
wow.
August. I did not respond until the day
Nice.
after Christmas, till December 26th of
He said,
2008.
Merry Christmas.
I
Okay.
answered him, and the man answered me right away. And then we started talking and realized we had things in common as far as where I worked. I worked where a number of his family members worked in Springfield. I worked, I was our church families, our families, like there's
Yeah.
so many similarities.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we spoke every day since then.
Yeah.
And so as I'm thinking now again, I've experienced heartbreak again this time,
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, I am accepting what the Lord has allowed, but now I'm asking to show me how to grow through this season,
Yeah.
knowing that I'm ready again. Again, I'm looking at that anger. That anger's got to go. It's got to diminish. And it's not that I agree with how God has managed my life, but
Mm-hmm.
but I trust his character. So I don't like the
Yeah.
decision, but I trust his character. Um,
Absolutely.
and so because I trust his character, when I'm no longer angry about the decision, I think I'll be ready. Because what right now, it's like if you disappoint me, well, Matt didn't never did that. Well, if you
Oh,
Matt never did that, well,
wow. Oh,
Yeah.
because the comparison game, especially with a widow, because something about when somebody goes to heaven, they become heavenly.
they do. Listen, their image becomes
Honey, you
pristine.
don't
It's
remember any of the
psychological
bad.
fact. Yeah,
Yes. They
they
become
get put up on this
heavenly.
pedestal. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and I think in this time, part of my healing is the most amazing piece of healing I can give myself and my children is to remember my husband as a human being,
Yes.
flaws and
Yeah.
all.
So
Yeah,
good.
Flaws and all, and loved in the midst of those
and that way
flaws.
it will help me to see my help when it arrives and not
Right.
say it doesn't
Flaws and
measure up.
all.
Flaws
Right.
and all. Yeah,
Yeah, see the other person, whomever he may be, flaws and all.
flaws
Yeah,
and
I
all.
get it. Smart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
But I,
Mm-hmm.
I would say the biggest thing is giving yourself that time. Sometimes you do gotta just step away, step out the mix. It's okay. You're gonna miss stuff, but trust me, you won't miss anything you're not supposed to.
No, you
Not
really
at all.
won't. What you'll have is peace.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, what you'll have is peace. So,
yeah,
and that's really what the big comparison is.
yeah,
Yeah, would I be alone or do I want to be with you?
yeah.
Not do I want to be with you or do I want to be with somebody else?
Right, right.
So true. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And I love that
Mhm.
you're recognizing even now, like, hey, I still need a little more time before I start dating again. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I tried. I have tried. But
Uh-huh.
I've realized I see these things coming up, and I'm grateful to be a reflective person because I can look in my journal and be like, Andrea, we have a problem.
Yes. But you know what? This idea of being a reflective person is huge.
mhm.
If you're gonna, because if you're not reflective, you're gonna be deflective. And
Yeah.
so whatever the thing is that's bothering you, you're gonna say it's because of them and they. And that's why, you know, and we'll justify our crookedness.
Yeah.
We're looking at something crooked and we say we're straight and everybody else
Yeah.
is crooked.
Yeah.
And then the Lord comes and straightens us out. He
I'm
has
like,
to,
whoops.
yeah, he has to adjust us. And if we don't reflect against his standards, we can justify ourselves right into being miserable.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
agree completely.
Yeah,
Yeah. What
yeah.
about you, Jazz?
Oh, child.
Ah,
I got my heart I got my heart broken 2019 and I went in park. I ain't
no.
want to have nothing to do with love ever again. I was dating a pastor. Of course I was.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was not a senior pastor because we don't do that. Yeah, he was an
Uh-uh.
associate pastor, my God. And listen, my heart was broke for a
Oh.
good minute. And I just kind of sat in park and I was just like, nah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good on it. I'm gonna just I joked when I was younger because I liked the spiritual devotions of Catholic nuns, and I used to say I wanted to be one. And
Oh,
I was pretty close. I was
That
literally like
sounds like you though.
if you go through my search history, I was looking up if there was a such thing as like Pentecostal nuns.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
There are.
if
We know who they are.
we
There's not
do,
an official order, but we know.
right, but we do. Um, And so like Andrea knows like I was completely closed off to the idea of being with anybody.
Hmm.
And
Mm.
the Lord had to process me a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so I honestly I just
But what's
started
that process? So often we say, man, the Lord processed me. What is the beginning of that process?
for me it was because you know the I don't know why the Lord just he just be talking. He
Yeah.
just be talking. Like I've met people that just like, y'all be talking back to you. And I'm like, he don't talk back to you? Like, what is really
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Lord was like, what are you looking for in men that you're supposed to be finding in me?
Confrontation.
And I was like,
Yeah, the process always
Wow.
starts with confrontation.
Excuse.
Yeah.
It doesn't even
excuse
matter how wrong the other people were and how right you are. Like when we sit in anger that's on its way to becoming bitterness, it all our process always starts with him confronting us. Just once I would love for him to say, "Oh, baby." He doesn't.
They did it.
No.
They did it.
They
That's what
did
he
it.
does.
he
He's like,
did it.
but
What they do? Come tell me all about it. Hey, he
come
do not
tell
do
me
that.
about it. No,
He do not do that at
he shows up with
all.
a mirror and he says, "Let's reflect on you." Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I mean everything from for several months, he would not even allow me to put makeup on. He was like, you need to be able to look at your face and be okay with the way that I made you.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
And I was like, what do you mean?
yeah.
I don't understand. He's like, yeah,
Wow.
we're gonna deal with all of this underlying rejection, all this underlying
Yeah.
insecurity.
Mm.
And yeah, after some year, how long ago was 2019? My God.
Oh my gosh, 7 years
7 years.
7 years
ago.
now.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even want to
And
know.
just recently, y'all know, I had got into a relationship that we're not gonna talk about. Um,
Uh-uh.
we're not gonna talk about that
You gave someone
relationship.
an opportunity.
I did. And
That's
it
all.
honestly it was because when I met him, I saw the character of Christ in him.
Sure.
Mm.
And that's what you should
I
be looking for.
genuinely did. And that was what drew me to him.
Sure.
I'm not gonna sit here and, demonize him like he was a terrible guy or
Yeah.
anything like that. We just weren't compatible.
Right.
Um, I say we're not gonna talk about it because Anika told me not to do it and I did it anyway. Um, she did. The prophet told me
He said, don't
not to
do it.
do it. And I was already doing it. And so I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep doing it. And
Yeah.
next time I'm gonna listen to the prophet next time. I'm gonna
Yeah.
obey
That's okay.
next time.
We
But
learn.
honestly, I think it was such a turning point for me to be able to say, okay, maybe I actually am open to, well, this wasn't it, but
Yeah.
I think I'm willing to, dip my toes in the water a little bit now that I know that this is possible. I know that, I'm capable of opening my heart to a person. Maybe not to the person that wants to jump in a relationship after 5 days, but
Hmm.
with with some proper boundaries,
Yeah. And you
we
gain
can make it work.
wisdom. You
Yeah.
gain wisdom as you go. You learn as you go. Say, I like that. I didn't like that. I could live with that. I couldn't live with that. Because
Exactly.
if
And
you
that was the
don't
thing.
know
There were
you, that's when you can wreck things for yourself and the
yeah,
other person.
because there were things I didn't know that I didn't want
No,
until I experienced it. And I was like, oh,
no,
yeah,
I
no,
don't like that.
I don't want
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there
So it
were things
wasn't
that I didn't know I
unsuccessful. It
needed.
was actually successful.
Right. I absolutely learned quite a bit about myself. There were some things that I thought, yeah, hey, yeah, I could absolutely do that. And now I'm like, no, I can't date somebody with kids. I can't do that. I thought, with one, it might be, no, I
Mhm.
can't do that. No, it's
Mhm.
I think
gotta
that's
be
the thing I
parental.
love the most about counterintuitive dating, where you talk about this idea of seeing dating as self-discovery versus
Yes. What
just trying to
rather
learn about
than
other
the
people.
going on the hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am,
Yeah.
Madam Producer. I love what you put in our notes. It's self-discovery, not husband hunting.
Yes.
That
Yes.
part. That
Right.
part.
Because as we've been conditioned to, oh, I need to find the one. I gotta find my husband. And
Yeah.
sometimes we don't, we're so on the hunt that we're not realizing like, hey, we need to look at ourselves first, like
Yes.
to make
Yeah.
sure that we know that we're finding the right person. I know for me it was
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
dating anxiety thing because I had gotten hurt in a previous relationship. So I was
Uh-huh.
open to dating, but every time it got to that point of actually going on the date, I would not go and I would freak
Oh
out
no,
because I was afraid
really?
of getting hurt again because I had gotten hurt so bad.
Oh,
And so that was my turning point where I'm like, okay, girl, you got, something's going on. So I started therapy. I mean, I started that process with God, but then it got to a point where like, okay, maybe I need to get a therapist to talk this out,
a process.
and start to really realize like where that's coming from, but also in um, kind of like confronting insecurities within
Yes.
myself as to, hey, why don't you want to date? Because I mean, it was a lot of different things, but coming to a place where I'm actually loving myself. And I'll say this, one thing my therapist suggested that I do. So there's a movie called Fireproof. Have you guys heard of it?
I have heard of it.
Oh
I've seen
yeah.
it. It's good.
Yeah. So there's a book called The Love Dare that the couple in the movie did. And you
Yes.
can actually
Yeah.
purchase on Amazon. And she told me to purchase it and she told me to do that for myself.
Wow.
And
Oh, I love that.
I love that.
it was awesome. I started buying flowers for myself every week. I would take myself on like dates. I would go to the movies, go to dinner,
Yes.
just go downtown to walk around, like just enjoy my day and
Yeah.
little things like that. But it was really good in regards to self-discovery and me discovering myself so that I know that,
Yeah.
hey, I'm worthy of a great spouse, but
Yes.
not looking to another person to be my everything.
Yes.
Well,
Latoya, I love
That's
that.
big.
Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for helping me. Thank you for letting me know I'm heading in the right direction. So I forgot about that being the love deer being in fireproof, but what I do have in my phone is a running note of things I want to experience while I wait. And it's not just while I wait for a husband, but just while I
Yeah.
wait for the
mhm.
next season of my life to unfold.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So I have a list of things and I've been checking things off. And so taking myself to the movies, going out to dinner, buying flowers.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Yes.
my gun license, you know. I'm
Come
doing all
on.
kinds of things. Um, but I love that. I love the idea of having an intentional, structured date time with yourself.
Yes.
That,
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
And I'm not gonna at the risk of repeating myself, it makes you a more interesting person.
Yeah.
So if
Very.
you're sitting across a table with someone or out on a walk with someone and they
Mhm.
ask you about yourself, you'll have something to say.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, what do you like to do? Oh, I just been waiting on you. That's scary. That's stalker talk. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so you'll be able to say, these are the things I enjoy
Yeah.
about my life.
Yeah.
These are the
Yeah.
things I like to do. And you'll know if that person are they willing to explore your world? Are you willing to explore their world? And that's
Right.
how your world gets bigger when you connect with somebody that they're doing things that you're interested in, or even things you've never thought of. And so this is what keeps it light and what keeps it fun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think one of the things that churchy dating does is it takes all the fun out of it. My God,
Yes.
it takes all
Yeah.
It really
it
does.
takes
Yeah.
yeah, it takes all the fun out of it. And you're not just okay, I'll get to know you and we'll do something fun together. I'm watching, looking for your character, you
Mhm.
Yeah.
know. Look,
Yeah.
and character is seen, or fruit of the spirit is seen in character. So I'm trying to see where's Jesus here in you. And at the same time, we're having a good time. There's nothing wrong with bowling. It don't make you fast.
Right. And you know what?
Amen.
That's so important because you mentioned that mirror before, right? If you can't hold
Yes.
the mirror to yourself, marriage is gonna suck. I'm telling you that right
Oh
now.
my
Because
gosh.
marriage is the ultimate mirror. Trust
Ooh,
me. You're gonna learn a
honey.
lot about
Let me tell
yourself.
you.
Listen,
Let
I
me
heard
tell
somebody
you.
say one time, they were like, marriage is not designed to make you happy, it's designed to make you holy.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
So,
oh my.
Ooh.
It
and the
will
reason
show
I
you yourself so
listen
fast.
so fast.
You would think that you got it together. And yeah, it'll show. Yeah, I have some stories.
And so your point
Just
about
that's why
fun,
when folks say do all the healing you can, yeah, do
right?
all the healing you can because there are some things that will only come out in that kind of relationship.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
some they're only going to come out.
yeah.
But if you've learned how to reflect on yourself, then you're not going to deflect onto them.
Onto them.
And you're not going to be like Adam, it was all her.
Yeah. And then to your point, the fun fits in there too. Because if they
Yes.
weren't having fun when they were dating, I don't know why you thought their marriage was gonna be happy either.
Ooh. Oh my.
So it's like, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do this weekend? I don't know. You know what? You didn't know when I met you. Why do you
Right.
think these people going to change?
There's the I don't knows. There's the I don't want us.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Ooh.
So, yeah,
So
don't be mad.
what y'all saying is we really need to pay attention as we're dating because these things can be magnified in marriage.
That's what it is.
Mm,
You will be more of yourself.
wow.
You'll be
You will
more,
be more of
which is
yourself,
why,
and there's gonna be a microscope like right here in
oh
your
my
forehead.
gosh.
Listen, that's why I tell people like when guys will ask me, well, what are you looking for? I'm not telling you because I
No.
want to see who you actually are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to see what you do unprompted.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
want to see. Now, there's some things, obviously, you need to open your mouth and say something because men are not mind
Sure.
readers. But
Sure.
in certain situations, like I want to see how you naturally respond, how you
Yeah.
naturally are. Do you naturally go several days without communication when we're just talking? Is
Mm-hmm.
that okay with me? No, it's not.
Come on.
Like, do
It's
what
not
things do you
it's not
Yes.
just the going several days, it's how they react when you point it out.
Yes.
That's
Are
true.
you
Yes.
always going to ask me what I want to do? Can you make a decision
And I
without
love
my
that.
input?
Yeah, one of the things I love about what you're saying, Jasmine, is you're asking two questions. And when I was on that walk with Andrea that started this whole ball rolling, and she challenged me. She said, at the end of the book, you wrote a series of things like if it's this run, if it's that run, if it's that run, right? All these reasons why we should run. She said, what do you think about giving us some green flags and yellow flags?
Hmm.
And green flags are really super easy. Y'all download the book. The green flags are easy. But the yellow flags are when I really had some good conversations with God and myself and my husband. Because yellow flags prompt you to, if the person does this, this is what you want to know.
Yeah.
And you want to ask him this and then ask yourself that. So even as you mentioned, Jasmine, if he'll ask you out, but he won't plan it. What you want to know is this person just not a planner or are they lazy? That's what you really want to know. So you ask him this, and I actually give you the question. And then you ask yourself, can I live with that? Can I live with somebody who's like, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at detail? Or can I live with somebody because I really want to be with you, but I just don't feel like doing it?
Yeah.
Is that something you can live with? And that whole is that something you can live with comes 100% from PJ. Because for me, I was like, if you're lazy, you cut, right? See the young lady on the way out. You know how they do for auditions. My children are all in theaters. Thank you very much. See the young lady on your way out. Sign out. Make sure you just sign out, brother. Right? But
Pay
that's
you
what
for your
PJ would
time.
say. Okay,
No,
thank you
thank
for your time. Yeah.
you.
But one of the things PJ said was, well, what if somebody doesn't mind that? What if they don't mind doing all the planning because he's lazy about planning? And so she may say, oh, well, what do you want to spend? And if he says, I will spend no more than 225, okay, I can plan something with that. And then she plans it. Hey, we're going to go on a this and we're going to do that. And we're going to stop and eat this.
Yeah.
And if he's like, oh, I love this. This is a great. So it's really about, now, unless it's a character flaw, because then we got into it, me and PJ, about yeah, he said, well, nothing can really be a red flag because if they're fine with it, then it's fine. I said, no, 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 no. I should
No,
probably
no,
have
no.
invited him on the podcast. I said, no, 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 no. Because if you were raised in dysfunction or around dysfunction, you can normalize something that God says no to.
Yep.
Part.
And so those kinds of things, some of those red flags, run, honey. When auntie say run, run. But some of those yellow ones, I think is where people get caught up. And I love those funny social media posts on, what's the most childish reason you ever cut a guy off or
Oh
blocked a
my
guy.
gosh, those are my
We
favorite
know, Jasmine.
things
I love
ever.
those. I love those. I think they're good for humor. They don't not necessarily good for life, but good for humor. But some of those are yellow flags that show you there's a deeper issue where it's like a little weed and then you start pulling it and the roots are deep. And you say, oh, see the lady, make sure you sign out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I also think it's interesting because you're right. Those yellow flags, someone might decide, like, I can live with that. Like, that's okay. This is my lane. I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
I'm good. Yeah.
But what I've realized is there are a lot of people who are watching things happen in other people's marriages and they're very not content in their own, not realizing the price or the cost of what that other person has going on in their
Yes.
marriage.
Yes.
Right? Like what it costs them personally. And
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that in a bad way, but like because of those very personal choices you make about what you can live with, um,
Yes.
your marriage is going to turn out the according to the effort you both put into it. That's really the end of it.
Really, that is it. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's not like, I mean, it's like it's not like you buy something, you know what I mean? And well, I paid for it, now it's mine. It's just going to make me happy and entertain me. It's not like that
No,
at all.
you see them
It's
going on date night every other week. You don't know she has a calendar that where he doesn't have to think about anything. He comes home, he gets dressed, and gets in the car.
right. You don't know that that's what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
And that
that's so,
she's good with it because she's the one
Hmm.
who's the organizer.
yeah. So that helps
And you
break
don't
down that
know
fairy tale view of marriage as well.
That
It
part.
exactly. And you
does.
don't know if he actually want to be there on that day. That man could want to be at home playing on his video games, but he going because he don't want to hear her mouth. And you man,
Or wait, now let me say this. He's going because there's a reward.
Mm.
Well, let's just say,
well,
And they will do what they
honey,
need to do for the
they'll
romance.
do what they need to do. They'll walk through fire.
Wow. So that goes, I mean, this is good. That goes into my next question because
Okay, what's your next question?
how has social media distorted our expectations
Mm.
of
Oh,
and
listen,
partners?
listen, listen. Social media will have you thinking that all women are gold diggers and all men are labor extractors with no jobs. Because
Hmm.
the way that we are just bombarded with these negative images of dating and marriage. And it's like every time I open on social media, there's a post about this wife and exposing how terrible her husband is,
oh
how she
my.
can't trust him to to take care of the kids that they had
Yeah.
together. Or the
Or there's a
video, that
podcast.
viral video of the man who didn't have who's homeless and don't have a job, and he's listing all of his requirements for the woman that he wants, who also has to let him stay in her house because he ain't got nowhere to live.
Oh
Like,
my.
if you are constantly on social media, you will think that everything is like that. The men, the what is it, the red pill podcaster,
Yeah.
The
high
Yeah.
podcast,
value
high
men
value men, alpha men, all of
will have
Yeah.
you thinking that all women are gold diggers when the average Black man only makes $30,000 a year. There is no gold to
Don't give
dig.
us the data.
and we have the
Lord, not
majority
the
of
data.
the degrees. We have the majority, Black women hold the majority of the degrees.
And that's not to disparage Black men. Times are hard.
Right.
Like,
They are.
Right. We
They
get
are.
it.
times are hard.
They
Nobody
are.
is knocking men for
Right.
having a job. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But don't turn around and think. Don't paint a picture and frame that thing to say all she wants is my 30K.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
And every man don't have 12 kids.
Right.
Every woman is not a single mother
Right.
True.
asking you to parent her kids that she had with 5 different baby daddies.
Right.
Some of us are living holy and
Yeah.
against everything in our hormones are clinking as Medea. Clink. Some of us
Lock
are
it down.
open out.
Yes.
Some of us are locked down.
Yes.
Okay? So get your act together.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Social media. It's interesting that I have a whole different social media experience. So I am aware that you can open up your phone, open up social media, and you can see some stuff that makes you think that all men are this and all women are that on the negative end. But I think also you can open it up and you can think that everything is a fairy tale.
Everyone has a perfect marriage. That's
Oh,
the side that I'm
everything
on.
is so wonderful. It's
Yeah.
just vacations and roses and like just everything is just so
They're both
fantastic.
6-figure earners. They have this huge
Oh,
house. They have the
yes.
perfect children.
Yes.
And that's the experience you get when you've posted on social media that you got married. The algorithm starts feeding you
to
happy
say, and
marriage
this is what it
stuff.
should look like. Yeah. This
Those
is what it should look like.
who haven't said, "Oh my gosh, I said yes," we get the other side of social media.
Yes.
It sucks here. It
Oh my
absolutely
gosh.
sucks here.
And neither
Absolutely.
one of them is healthy because neither one of them are true.
Yeah.
None of it is true.
Neither
It's
one.
all staged.
Listen.
I started asking myself now, who's holding the camera?
Mm.
Like some of the social media, like who's holding the
Mm.
camera? Like who's capturing all of this for you? Like this is produced. This is a product and it's produced.
It's
So you
either
have
produced
to-
or there's a family member missing. And that's because they're behind the camera.
That's because
And I think for me, that became painfully obvious. Like, I'm so glad my husband hated being in front of the camera, but I'm so glad I took all the pictures and I recorded all the videos.
Yeah.
I made them do the photo shoots. Yes, I did.
Oh,
Because
good.
now those are memories that my children and I get to hold on
Yeah.
to. But to your point, Dr. Pam, you get the wrong, looking at it's either produced because there's another person there or a family member is missing from the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Wow.
So yeah, social media
It's
can really
absolutely
skew
nuts.
you. I would suggest connecting with a married couple, married woman, you know what I mean? And get an idea if you're really going to prepare
We can't
yourself.
because the
A
married
real
women see us
idea.
as competition.
Listen,
The
no.
married
Oh,
women
no.
see us
Talk
as
about it.
competition. And
Oh no, she
we can't
froze.
have.
Oh, there you
Sorry,
go.
Jazz, you froze a
Sorry,
little
my
bit.
bad.
But yes,
I
Jazz, we
think
were taught that I was told when I got married that I had needed to give up my single friends. I didn't, but I was told I needed to.
Wow.
they think we want their husbands. I can't be friends with you no more because we got married. Oh, you can't come to the house, or he got to be gone, or yada yada yada. And it's just like, girl, he ain't got no job. What do?
And even if he did, I have integrity. I'm the
I'm like,
same
and my thing
person of
is,
integrity that was here before you got married.
Yeah.
of the two of us, I'm more saved than you are. Like, If we just keep it
If
in
we
a
really
box,
talking about who's faithful
if
to
we
the
really
Lord.
talking about it, you ain't been on a
Yeah.
fast in 10 years, woman of God.
No.
Because he said no.
Because he wouldn't have married you if you wasn't. Never mind. I'm gonna let that go. But
Oh my
we
gosh.
can't get close to marry couple, and then
Yeah.
there's this whole movement where you gotta gatekeep your marriage. You can't say, because there's so many, I guess, negative people that are speaking on people's
Yeah.
marriages, that now they're like, nope, we're not saying nothing, we good over here, you
Wow.
ain't gotta worry about us. And so it's just like, we're doomed.
Yeah.
we,
You're
we're
not doomed
doomed.
though. You're not doomed. Surely
I'm
there's,
like,
because it's like we've lost the genuine community. I was on the phone today with a dear friend and we were talking about the idea of um older women connecting with younger women, you know, and
Mhm.
having those real conversations. And I think she's probably in her late 50s, and so here I am, a whole 61. What you say? And so I said, I have young women in my life all the time. I think that it's uncommon, though. I'm learning that it's very uncommon that
Mhm.
people will share with you, hey, this is what it takes. Being faithful, being kind, being patient, being loving, not keeping a record of wrong,
Yeah.
all those things, being gracious, not judging, recognizing you married somebody that's a real person who had a
Mhm.
real childhood and a real, they're just as real as you are. So I don't think folks are having those types of conversations on social media or in person like they used to.
Yeah.
or they're having the conversations, but it's extremely difficult to have conversations about dating with women who got married before their frontal lobe finished developing.
Child,
Well,
listen.
Like,
now, okay, I hear you. But as one, continue
it's a
though. I won't
very different
interrupt.
experience,
Yeah.
especially, well, Andrea, you and I are almost the same age. I'm more so talking about women who got married before we could legally have our own bank accounts. That's
Oh
more
yeah.
so what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
their perspectives on what you're supposed to
Yeah.
persevere through in a marriage, their definition of for better or for worse is what their husbands
No.
put them through, not what
Yeah.
life threw at them.
What
Like,
life threw at them. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get
and
it.
so
Yeah.
they, y'all wouldn't last in our. You're right. I absolutely would not,
No, I
because he would be
wouldn't.
in a pig pen.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
As the
You're
meal.
absolutely right. I would never make it through your because your husband has a second family that lives on the same street as you. No. We we got, I kid you not. Like, I was telling Andrea, my heart was so broken because there's a very well-known pastor that I follow. Him and his wife make marriage content, and I logged into my Instagram and there was a suggested page of this girl. I saw one of her posts and I was like, "Oh, let me see her page." And she's half naked in half of her posts, and the husband of that married couple follows her. And I'm
Oh
looking at her and I'm
no.
like, there is absolutely no reason
Mhm.
for this man to be following this girl. Now, she don't
Mm-mm.
even make content for men. Like, some women have pages where they're intentionally, talking to men. Whatever, get your coins. You're not
Yeah.
saved, do your thing. But I was sitting there like, this is really disappointing. This
Mm-hmm.
is really disappointing. I
It
hope he
is.
followed her on accident. I doubt it, but I pray that it was an accidental hit the follow button and he just wasn't thinking about it or whatever. Maybe he liked a graphic with no picture on it or something like that.
Oh, you're
But
so
it's just like,
gracious.
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What, you know how I feel about church mothers. Well, church mothers, they are my favorite
Yeah.
demographic of people, but sometimes it can be extremely difficult with their perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
specifically on marriage. And then they've never had to date. Like,
Yeah.
when
Oh
they were
no,
dating,
they never
the man
had
had
to.
to come get permission from her
Her
daddy
daddy.
to
And then
go to
Right.
he
the ice
collected his
cream
Right.
property
shops.
and was out.
And
Yeah.
it's like, you've never had to
Yeah.
date in a time where men want to be baddies.
Hello.
Yeah. True.
It's true. And you know, and I wish I could say that it was different as a widow, but like I've gotten a variety. I've gotten the okay, baby, well, you know, now that you're a widow, you know, you're just gonna serve the Lord for the rest of your life and that's it. And I'm like, did you talk to
Yeah.
God? Because I didn't hear that
Yeah.
from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have the other camp that's like, oh my gosh, you got to get married. You can't acquire anything else. You can't grow anything else. You can't build another business before you get married because it's going to be hard for him to come into your life if you have too much going on. And I'm like, the Lord knows what I need.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can imagine those two extremes, and they're very common. They want to
Mhm.
make you who was the prophetess that was in the temple?
Anna,
Anna. They
Anna.
Anna,
want to
I've heard
make you the
Anna's
prophet.
name more times than I like. Yes,
Oh my
Anna.
gosh, they want to make you the prophetess Anna, who just did it. You're just going to dedicate your life right here now and become a saint in his honor. Yeah. Or
Wow.
the stop,
Don't
freeze
do nothing
until
else. Get
don't do
married first.
nothing else until God
Yeah.
does a
I
thing.
was like,
Yeah.
actually, in 2 years, I'm gonna buy another house.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. What?
And
Keep
we
it
Wow.
support
low.
it.
Like keep
And
the
we
whole
support it.
idea of keep yourself smaller and lighter so that it's easier for make it easy.
For him to
But the truth of the
carry.
matter is that's actually a disservice to the brother, because if you're going to play small and play yourself really light, um what happens is then once you are in the covenant and suddenly you're big and you're heavy, you got
Mhm.
It's
weight.
like, this
He's
is
like,
not what
oh,
I
I'm
signed
not
up
equipped.
for.
I'm not equipped for this.
No.
Yeah, I'm not equipped for this,
If I
which is why
knew,
you
I
got to
wouldn't have
be.
signed up.
Yes, if I knew, why were you pretending that this is like you just wanted a little house on the prairie and now here you are building businesses and doing things? I had no idea. And
Yeah.
let me say this, there are people who get married young and you before you really have a full idea of what God's going to do for you and in you,
Mhm.
do through you for him, for himself.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
Yeah.
if you're not open to walking with somebody in their purpose, you
yeah,
still can end up in a surprise. And
yeah,
that's what really happened in my first marriage, that the hand of God, what God was doing became uncomfortable.
yeah,
Mm.
So when PJ came around, I was very clear. I said, "Oh, you don't want this."
yeah,
I said the Bible talks about a man, the kingdom is like a man who finds a treasure in a field, and he wants the treasure so badly he buys the whole field just so he can have the treasure. I said, bro, man, you would have to buy the whole field. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And so I was very honest to
yeah,
say, it ain't getting any smaller
yeah,
either.
yeah,
Yeah.
And he's like, well,
yeah.
I'll do who else is coming?
Right.
He said,
And
who
the
we got
thing,
to bring? Mama, the dog? Who else is coming?
right. And I'm so encouraged by your story, Dr. Pam, because I was 22 when I met my husband,
Yeah. Yeah.
24 when we got married. I was 25
Yeah.
when we
I
had
got
our
married at
first
23.
child.
Mm-hmm.
And and he passed away at 39. I was 38 at the time. I
Yeah.
This year I will be 40. I am a
Yeah.
very different woman now than I was when I got married. We were married just 2 weeks
Yes.
shy of 14 years. We were
Yeah.
married so together for 16 years total. And what I will say is that I also changed. I grew up, first of all, because I
Yes.
moved from my parents' house to my husband's house. So
Uh-huh.
kudos. He will always win an award in my book. And like
Yeah.
I love him and honor his pictures up here. Love him and honor his memory because he was an incredible person. But I'll always, always, always be grateful to him, because you took me on, and I was basically a woman child. I
Yeah.
don't know what else
Yeah.
to say. You know, I lived in my parents' house and I moved to my husband's house. And one of the things I said at his funeral was that he treated me like a plant that was well tended, and he understood when my
Yes.
roots needed more room. And so he would
Yes.
expand to contain what God was doing in me. And I said, a good
Absolutely.
spouse is always going to grow with your spouse. Give them the room to
Yes.
become. Give them
Yes.
the room to become. And that's the one
So
thing I
so that
shared at his
flexibility
funeral.
is huge. And that's
Yeah,
actually one of the definitions of the word husband is a gardener, a
gardener.
cultivator. Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone who can cultivate you
yeah,
and who can stir up the gifts in you. And
yeah,
so when you ask people, that's why when you think about what you require, not just the things you enjoy and that kind of thing, but even, man, what is my life? What kind of partnership is my life going to require? Then you can ask those types of questions. I remember asking a guy once, what's the best gift you've ever given someone and how did it make you feel? Because
Mhm.
what I was looking for is, are you generous? Do you enjoy giving? You know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the story. I was not just listening to the story. I wanted to hear his attitude. I wanted to see his eyes light up, or does he smile when he talks about, oh man, my cousin so and so really like this, and I found the
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
and then I gave it to him. Like, I wanted to hear, are you someone who takes joy in giving? Because
Right.
if not, you're gonna be mad because I like to write checks. I'm still old
Whew.
school. I like to
Listen.
I like to give gifts. I like to cook for people. I like to,
Whew.
I like for people to know that they're loved, to do what I can. And so if you know that about you, then you can't just ask the person, so are you generous? He gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Pam, I'm here and I got tears coming because I feel like in this moment the Lord has just answered a question. So this
Ah,
morning I literally have a plant right here. I can't take it down right now. It's a mini
yeah.
monstera and it was root bound. The pot that it was in was too
Yes.
small. And even though it's
Yes.
winter and they say not to move, not to repot during the winter, it was so bad that you could see the effects in the leaves and the stems now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I took that thing out and I said, God, why am I having to do this today? It's winter. I'm not supposed to be repotting it yet,
Yeah.
but this thing is root bound so badly. And so I followed the instructions, put it in some water, let it soak for a little bit, and then separated
Mm-hmm.
them out, cut some off. And as you're talking, I'm understanding now, like Andrea, there's some things you think are okay. It has a little more room. It's okay. You think, but what,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm about to do, you're going to be root bound. You can't,
Yes.
you can't
Yeah.
expand the way I need you to. I'm
Wow.
literally looking at the
Yes.
plant right here, and I got tears coming because I'm like, the Lord. It
Yes.
looks like the Lord is saying, I was showing you you
I'm
Mhm.
going to show you you,
because I
which
had
is
moved it
why
into a
this
bigger
whole
pot, but it wasn't big
question,
enough. Yeah,
yeah, this is why this whole question, and thank you again, Dr. Latoya, on dating as self-discovery, not as husband hunting. It's very counterintuitive
yeah,
Mhm.
to
whew,
be able to say, I'm really interested in that person. I'm
yeah.
just going to show that I'm interested. We'll see if he's interested. If he wants
Mhm.
to spend time, I will give him some time on my calendar. And we're going to find out, is this the type of guy I like?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that, I
Yeah.
mean, it's so,
Whew.
it is such a different journey. So less pressure,
Mhm.
it's not like, God, is this my husband? God is
Right.
say, if you marry him, he'll be your husband.
That part.
Yeah, it makes the journey more enjoyable.
It
And
makes
when
the
you,
journey more
Yeah.
enjoyable. This whole idea, is that
Yeah.
my husband? If you
Yeah.
marry him, he will be.
And I think
Now
that's the
you
same
need,
answer for the one. If you marry them, they're the
yes,
one.
then they're the one.
yeah.
But does God make presentations? Yes, he'll say, what do you think of that person?
Mhm.
And you can say yes or no. He'll make a note. What do you think of that person?
I need the Lord. Never mind.
Just need him to show you. What do you
I
think of
need
that
him.
guy?
I need him
Lord,
to
is
put.
this who you sent?
I need him to tap me on my shoulder and say, "Hey, my homeboy want to talk to you."
That's it.
Yep. You gonna end up like
Listen, you
Paul.
got to
You
be
gonna...
careful. And I know we got to wrap up. Lord, Latoya, this is so long. I'm sorry.
No,
But
no, you're
but the let me tell you, I was sitting in a restaurant with Linda. Y'all know Linda. And she's asked me, would you ever be married again? I said, girl, let me tell you something. I would have to see the bush burn. God would have to send a glory cloud and speak out of the cloud to me and tell me, you know what I mean? I just went
good.
on and on talking about that. Well, then I kept getting all these prophetic words. And I said, why does God keep? Oh, I was so irritated with it. And we were in the same restaurant. I'm complaining. This is years later, maybe 2 years later. And Linda said, you know why? God keeps sending prophet after prophet? Because you sat right here and said, I would have to see the bush burn. God would have to send a glory cloud. I said, oh no. Well, you want to try to press stop, but it's already in motion. So Jasmine, you talk about God gonna have to tell. He is gonna have to tell you.
Listen,
But you're such
and
a seer and a dreamer. He might even
Mhm.
just show you the person before you meet the person
he
Mhm.
might.
and say,
You'll
"I'm
He
know.
sending
just
someone
might.
your way. I'd like for you to give this strong consideration, please."
I
Yeah.
need 3 reference letters. I need. And I need all three of the letters to come from the women, and they need to very plainly say they were the problem, not you.
That is hilarious.
That is
Oh
Need a
my
criminal
hilarious.
gosh.
background check and an STD panel.
Oh my goodness. It gets
Dude,
serious like that though, because I
It
mean,
is.
especially with online dating, like it can be very just false. Like they
Oh, it can be
present this
completely
false
false.
version of themselves, and you just don't know. So I get you, Jess. I understand.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you, ladies, so much for this amazing conversation. And thank you, Andrea, for sharing too about the need to
Yeah.
be in a place where we can expand and grow and not be root
Hmm.
bound and allowing God to do what He needs to do in us and grow us and evolve us, and the importance of that in relationship.
Yeah.
And so, just really quickly, I just want to do a quick round robin. What if someone's feeling super discouraged in dating right now? What
Hmm.
is one piece of advice that you want to give them? What's something you want to say to encourage them, just really quickly?
God has a beautiful love story already written for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't let somebody else's story discourage you, or someone else's car wreck discourage you. Just
Yeah.
get to know who you are,
Yeah.
and you'll understand who's compatible when you meet that person. Will this person grow me or shrink me? Yeah.
Love it. Love it. That's so good. What about you, Jasmine?
um, honestly, because y'all know I'm a daredevil. Like, I don't want to say devil, dare angel. That's
You're so
like
churchy.
I would say go the kind of man you want, go where they at.
There you go.
You're
Meet
not just gonna
people.
happen. You're not just gonna happen to go to an art gallery. Go somewhere. Go to
Yes.
a shoot a probate. Find something. Don't go to a probate, but just get out of your normal routine.
Get
Go
out of your
go
normal
somewhere
routine.
where they go. And
Yes.
listen, I started seminary. It's a whole bunch of brothers there. Listen,
There you
go,
go.
just do something new. Do something new
Do
outside of your
something
routine.
new.
You will be surprised who you meet
I love it.
when you're not in the house.
Yeah, that's so good. And what about you, Andrea?
So good. I mean, I'm gonna go back to what I said already. God knows what you need. It's
Yeah.
out there, and don't let anybody tell you different. Somebody's gonna say to you because they don't live up to your standards that, you're not gonna find anything better. God has what you need. If he what they say in the song, if he dresses the lilies in beauty and
Come
splendor,
on.
how much more will he
Yeah.
love you? How
How
much
much
more does he
more?
love you?
How much
How
more?
much
Yeah.
more? How much
Yeah.
more? If he knows what the birds need and he knows what the flowers need, I promise he knows what you need.
Yep. Have some
Ooh,
fun.
perfect.
I go back to Genesis. Anytime you wonder, go back to Genesis. He made the environment, then he made Adam.
Hmm.
Yes.
God has what you need already prepared.
Come on, minister.
Yes.
Come on.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
Awesome. Oh, that's so exciting. So thank
Well,
you,
they're gonna
ladies.
stick around. Are they gonna stick around and do a quick 10 minutes for our beautiful Patreon folks? And wait a minute, what's the bonus that you're doing?
Yeah, Andrea, can you tell us about the bonus that you're creating
Ooh.
for us?
So, as Jasmine and I were talking about this particular conversation and our very real life experiences, one of the things we began to realize is that sometimes we face challenges around how much do you invest in dating? And
Yeah.
as we were talking, we realized it doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Now, I'm not saying if you have the kind of job or the kind of life where you should be doing some other things, do that. But for the
Yeah.
rest of us, there are ways that you can invest in getting to know the other person without it costing you a ton. And so we are coming up with 30 days. We're going to give you 30 days of no cost, low cost date ideas.
Love it. Oh, I love that. All right, super cool. Thank you very
And they
much.
won't all be in the house because I don't know if you should be at his house or he should be at your house anyway.
No, no,
Be
And
outside.
actually, I love the idea of like doing low or no cost, because where there are restrictions, it will birth creativity. So
Yeah.
you can kind of get to see how creative can you guys be together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
really
awesome.
cool.
I
Really
love it.
cool.
I love it.
Well,
So thank
thank
you.
you, ladies.
Thank you so much, so much. And then we'll have
This
some
was
bonus
fun. This was
content on
good.
Patreon.
Yeah.
All
We'll see
right.
you over there.
Catch me on social media at PR The Builder. Visit me online at pamross.com. Catch you next time.